Think you're about to sell your New York City co-op? There's a hidden fee that could cost you $20,000 on your $1 million sale. And surprisingly, it's not even a real tax. You see, there's a lot of confusion around flip taxes in New York City real estate, and this confusion leads to costly surprises at the closing table. We've helped hundreds of clients navigate these fees, and what we've found is that many sellers are caught off guard, not just by the amount, but who actually pays and how it's calculated. Here's what makes this particularly interesting. While it may feel like a penalty when you're selling, flip taxes actually serve a crucial purpose for co-op buildings. In fact, buildings without them often face a different, potentially more expensive challenge that I'll reveal later in this video. In the next few minutes, I'm going to break down exactly what a flip tax is, show you how it varies across different Manhattan neighborhoods, and most importantly, help you understand how to factor this into your real estate decisions. Whether you're buying or selling, this information could save you thousands of dollars. Point number 1, the truth about flip taxes. Let's clear up the biggest misconception right away. Despite its name, a flip tax isn't actually a tax at all. It's a fee charged by the co-op, not by the city or the state. Think of it more as a transfer fee that goes directly to the building's reserve fund. This distinction is crucial because unlike government taxes that you have no control over, flip taxes can vary significantly from building to building. Some buildings might charge 1% of the sales price, others might charge 3%, and some might structure it even differently as a percentage of your profit. We've seen some buildings charge a flat fee or calculate it based on the number of shares that you own. Here's a real-world example to put this in perspective. Let's say you're selling your co-op apartment for $1 million. With a typical 2% tax, that's $20,000 that needs to be accounted for at the closing. That's not a small number. Point number 2, the East-West divide. Now here's something fascinating about Manhattan real estate that most people don't realize. There's actually a geographical divide when it comes to who pays the flip tax. East of Lexington Avenue, it's more typical that the seller pays it. West of Lexington, it's often the buyer. This is, of course, on the Upper East Side. But here's the thing. This isn't set in stone. It's more of a general practice that has evolved over time, and it can absolutely be negotiated depending on market conditions. In a strong seller's market, we've seen buyers willing to cover the flip tax and make their offers more attractive. Conversely, in a buyer's market, sellers might need to be prepared to handle this expense. This is why it's so crucial to understand these nuances before you even list your apartment or make an offer. The last thing you want is to be caught off guard during negotiations or worse, at the closing. Point 3, the hidden benefit. While flip taxes might seem like just another burden on sellers, there's actually a compelling reason why they exist and why you might want to look for a building that actually has a flip tax. Buildings use this revenue to fund improvements and maintain their reserve funds, which helps keep monthly maintenance fees stable. Let me share something we've observed over hundreds of transactions. Buildings without flip taxes tend to have more frequent assessments. Think about it. When a building needs a major repair or improvements, the money has to come from somewhere. Without the steady income from flip taxes, these buildings often have to levy special assessments on all the shareholders. So while you might save money on the flip tax when you sell, you could end up paying more over time through higher maintenance fees or unexpected assessments. It's a classic case, pay now or pay later. Speaking of making smart decisions in New York City real estate, we've put together a comprehensive guide of all the costs of buying and selling in Manhattan. Click the link in the description to bring you to our website. It covers everything from flip taxes to transfer taxes to mansion taxes and even more. Point number 4, calculating your exposure. Now let's talk about how to actually calculate what you might owe. The more common structure we see is a percentage of the sale, typically between 1% and 3%, but some buildings get creative with their calculations. Here are the main types we encounter. Percentage of sale, which is the most common. Flat fee, less common, but simpler. Percentage of profit, which is the fairest but the hardest to calculate, and a dollar amount per share, which varies based on your apartment size. Percentage of profit model is particularly interesting because it only applies if you're actually making money on your sale. While this might seem the most fair, it actually doesn't help the co-op as much during market downturns when they might need the funds the most. Remember that $1 million example we discussed earlier? Let's look at how different structures would affect your bottom line. 2% of the sales price equals $20,000. $10 per share? Maybe you have 2,000 shares, that's $20,000. 20% of profit with a $200,000 gain, that's $40,000. This is why it's absolutely crucial to understand how your building calculates the flip tax before you list your apartment. It can have a significant impact on your net proceeds. So here's what you need to remember about flip taxes in New York City real estate. While they might feel like a burden when you're selling, they actually serve an important purpose in maintaining building stability and preventing larger expenses down the road. Before you buy into any co-op, make sure you understand whether there's a flip tax at all, how it's calculated, and who typically pays in that location. And if you're thinking about selling, you need to factor this cost into your calculations early in the process. The last thing you want to be is surprised by a 5 or 6-figure fee at closing. Now, if you're wondering how to navigate the complex world of New York City co-op boards and their various fees and requirements, check out our video on mastering the co-op board approval process, because understanding flip tax is just one piece of the puzzle when it comes to a successful New York City real estate transaction.